dust storm, man. Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all the sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
So what was old is new again, and what once was dead has come back to life. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe. And of course, with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Was that cryptic enough?
Yeah. I was gonna say, there's a lot of ways this could go.
There's a lot of ways this could go. I didn't know how else to put what we're going to be talking about later into context.
Okay.
But I felt like, hey, that's it.
All right, cool.
This is like, hey, we don't need it. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Right. Okay.
So we'll get there, though.
Yeah,
we'll get there. But hey, we might as well kick it out. I mean, Liam Neeson was out there talking about Star Wars.
So, yes, he was.
Seems like something to jump on first here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's been out there talking about, I believe he has a new film coming out. I think it's called The Marksman.
Yep.
So, again.
But we only latch on to the important stuff.
Exactly. Because everybody's going to be asking him questions about Star Wars. We know that. So, he went on a James Corden show, Late Show, and apparently James has this shtick that he does with all the guests who interview from home, the Zoom call thing, where he asks them to show something of theirs that everyday fans might not get a chance to see, right?
What's he call it? Like, hey, what kind of cool crap you got over there?
Something, I don't know. So Liam Neeson actually brought out his lightsaber from the Phantom Menace. So here's what he had to say about that.
A certain lightsaber that I used in the film The Phantom Menace that was originally going to be called The Beginning. And it says on it October 97. So that was my lightsaber as Qui-Gon Jinn, a Jedi Master. Just plugging that.
Just what?
Just plugging that. So why is he plugging that? I mean,
I'm just gonna plug Qui-Gon Jinn here. Like, what?
20 years too late.
Have you seen this movie?
But it's kind of funny that he puts it that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that made me scratch my head a little bit. Also, the July-October
I can see
thing.
Twitter right now. I can see it right now. Liam Neeson talks about when Star Wars was good.
Oh, man. Oh. Yes, it could happen, though.
You heard it here first.
Right.
Oh, man.
So.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. But. Yeah, anyway, that got me scratching my head a little bit, just wondering, just plug in that. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know. He also did an interview with Collider, right? So while we're on this subject with Liam Neeson, what plug-in that means. I guess in this interview, again, it was like a Zoom type thing, they came out and asked him the questions, and we'll see how he responded to the direct questions.
Are you a little surprised at the fans still wanting you to return to play Qui-Gon in some way?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't heard that at all.
Oh, I've definitely heard it.
Okay. Sure, I'd like to. I mean, I'm wondering, is Star Wars starting to fade away from the cinema landscape, do we think?
Actually, Disney Plus is launching like 10 series that are based on Star Wars, and one of them is an Obi-Wan series with Ewan McGregor.
Okay. They're sort of spin-offs, are they?
Yeah, it's gonna take place. See, I was wondering if Ewan had called you and said, "Hey, I'm doing a spin-off series. Maybe we can do like a flashback."
Sure, I'd be up for that. Yeah.
I hope you get to return. I loved your work in Star Wars, and I love your work and everything. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing some kind of spin-offs? This is the first I've heard of this.
Oh, it's funny because he mentions the whole Obi-Wan thing. Is okay, yeah. It's like in his head, he's thinking, oh, you guys
Ewan,
know,
yeah, I know Ewan.
you guys do know this is coming out. Okay, yeah. Yes, I think he's doing I think he needs to take some lessons from Ewan on just how to evade
Misdirect?
Yeah, evade these questions.
Star Wars isn't that starting to fade out?
Yeah, I say fade out. Some might say so, but
yeah, I mean, the last decade's only been about $10 billion in profits for Star Wars, right?
Right, exactly. But they're launching 10 new projects here, and he's, oh yeah, I see. I don't know. I just think it was funny, and then earlier he's plugging the character of Qui-Gon, so not quite sure how to take all this stuff. He might get a call, could be even from Dave Filoni. Look, Liam, here's how you do it.
Man, you're bad at this.
Exactly.
Man, I mean, I don't know. Liam's interviews over the years have always been interesting.
Oh, sure.
Always been interesting. We always kind of read into it too that he's playing coy, oh, maybe he's working on something,
right?
So hey, maybe this game works, man.
Maybe, but
we may be looking at it from the wrong angle.
I don't know. It only makes sense that he would make some sort of an appearance on the Obi-Wan series, and I just think that there's got to be something going on there, and if not, I don't know. I don't know what he's plugging the character again, and he's not even aware. This is the industry you work in, dude. Isn't Star Wars kind of fading off the landscape? And I don't get it.
And the thing that's crazy is he's acting like he didn't do Qui-Gon's voice for the Clone Wars. And
oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
He's acting like he hasn't done this since the 90s. Dude.
The Rise of Skywalker, right? I mean.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Isn't that
exactly.
fading? I mean, dude, you just did it like a year ago.
That's funny. Yeah, you're right. I'm not buying it. So here's another head scratcher for you. Okay, this is back to the James Corden interview where he's talking about the lightsaber. He kind of he schools us on just how these things work, because we all need it.
And everybody thinks, oh yeah, you turn it on with just your thought, right? I said, no, it's a red button.
Oh, is that how it works?
Wait. So let's just can a Jedi not ignite their lightsaber with their thoughts?
Oh, I'm sure they can.
Wait, but
we've seen that happen.
Hold on.
What?
You got to push the red button.
Right. But okay. So here's what doesn't make sense about what he's saying here. If you just did it with your thoughts, then neither Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back nor Luke in A New Hope would have been able to ignite the lightsaber.
Well, I understand there's a button.
Well, yeah, that's what he's saying. There's a big red button. That's how it works.
Huh.
But, you know, if you're Kylo
Neat.
Ren trying to kill Snoke, you can ignite it sitting on the armrest.
Well, wait a second. He just created a gigantic plot hole.
Who did?
Liam Neeson.
How's that?
No, you don't turn it on with your thoughts. You got to push this red button.
Right?
You have to.
Yeah, well, of course, Kylo Ren did that, you know, through the Force. Push the button.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'm coming away from all this with
He's kind of making it sound like there's a can't do it with the Force failsafe on this button.
right. I'm just thinking that this guy, he's going to be playing Qui-Gon.
Like so when that's on your belt and you think, oh man, I should grab my lightsaber and ignite it. It doesn't just go like, oh, ignite it.
Right.
Hey, you thought it, bro.
Exactly.
Cut your leg off.
You call that a negligent ignition. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a thought failsafe. Makes sense.
I don't know, man. I just, I think we're going to end up seeing him in this show, though.
Whether we see him or hear him, I think hearing him is going to be a 100% possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Seeing him, maybe.
Right.
But I think hearing him, he's going to do some voice work for this. Probably already has.
Yeah. I don't, yeah.
Or at least got an envelope.
Oh, yeah. With lines?
Lines and money.
Yeah. And money. Sure.
The money had a note attached to it, like, don't talk about it. He's like, oh, isn't Star Wars dead?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I just recorded a thing for Celebration. Isn't it dead?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funny to me just how bad he is at trying to cover all this up.
Like, man, you suck at lying.
Yeah. But hey, you know, we all have our strengths.
True. He's a Jedi, man. Lying's not the way.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Just ask Watto.
And if you tell anyone about this, he will hunt you down.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Is that it for Liam Neeson?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in agreement, though. Like, I feel like he's hiding something.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't Star Wars like kind of leaving the movie? How do you put it?
The landscape. Yeah, fading out of the landscape or something. Yeah.
They stopped trimming the bushes.
Right.
It's getting hidden in the rest of the landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, bro. No. All right. Well, other Lucasfilm properties are seeing shakeups. So we talked about Willow.
Yes.
Willow coming to Disney Plus. And I gotta say, like, before I read this, I was like, oh, come on, Disney. Really? Like, can you not hold on to a director?
Yeah.
So John Chu is stepping away from the new Willow Disney Plus series. Yep. And when I read that headline, I'm like, come on. Why can't you get a director from start to finish here?
Yes, this seems to be a problem, doesn't it? I mean, we had the whole Trevorrow thing. We had Lord Miller. Lots of that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, but so this one seems to be different circumstances.
Okay.
At least on the surface. I'll say that because there are a lot of skeptics out there that say, I think this is just the way they're putting it. I don't know how I feel. I feel this is probably legit. But due to the delays and things like that from COVID and not being able to move forward in production right now, and a newborn on the way, he's made the decision to step away. So take from that what you will. I understand, given Disney's past recently, this is hard to like believe. It's like, oh yeah, that seems like an easy cop out, right?
Yes. Yes, it does. I don't know. As of right now, I'm not buying it. I think there's something else going on. You know, this whole, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like an easy way to get away from the typical creative differences.
Right. Yeah. There's always that one. But okay, right now, the pandemic, that's a perfect excuse to not do everything. Okay? And then, you know, I'm going to spend time with my family and pursue other interests or something like that. You know, sounds an awful lot like that. I don't know. I understand you have a newborn on the way, but, you know, to direct a movie, it's going to be, what, 3-4 months? I mean, you know, you got lots of time to spend with your kid.
So, I mean, you want to know where I was offended in this whole thing?
Oh, you're offended? I'm not offended.
I mean, a little bit.
Wow, okay.
A little bit. Because he said in here, like, I won't be able to work with some of my heroes, old and new, like Kathy, Ron, John, Wendy, Michelle, and the amazing cast and crew they've put together. Warwick Davis is not mentioned in this?
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Willow, right?
Right.
So I thought that was a unforgivable, you know, omission.
Yeah. It's true. I did notice that myself. Yeah, there's something, I don't know. There's something that just doesn't feel right about that message there. I can't buy it 100%, you know? I just wonder if there's, huh?
Yeah, and the next line is like, you know, like a kid seeing Willow for the first time in the 80s. Yeah, who was Willow?
Exactly. You have all this admiration for the movie, which is probably true. But, you know, for some reason, unbeknownst to us, things aren't working out. So yeah. I'm just not quite sure, you know, what's going on there. There's just too much of that in the recent past for us to just buy the, you know, gonna spend time with my family bit. So
yeah, I'm just angry at hearing someone say, like, I got a newborn on the way, so I'm gonna quit my job.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, if I do that, my newborn ain't gonna be able to eat.
Right. This is true. It's how it works for us. But, you know, hey.
No, but in all honesty, and I kid here. You know, I do understand. You know.
Sure. Yeah. Totally.
You wanna not be away for, you know, birth of your child, things like that. I get it.
Yes, and congratulations, by the way. But,
yes, absolutely.
I can't help but believe that there's just a little bit more to this story that we're not hearing about.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of cinema these days, right? Like,
yeah,
it always seems to be like something that's not the truth.
Yep.
Like you hear about like this, and this is why, and then 6 months later, it's like, well, it was actually this.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it makes everybody skeptical. I mean, and Disney's been at the forefront of this lately.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, literally everyone that gets involved in Star Wars is just gone.
Right.
So,
And what gets me about that is that we don't seem to get like, and we don't need to know the inner workings of all the behind the scenes, okay? But just give us a straight answer, right? And this might very well be a straight answer, but it just doesn't feel that way to me.
right.
So hopefully somebody else can step into the project and do it justice, you know?
Yeah, and that's the other concern, right? Is
Yeah.
we've seen so many times lately that when a director steps out and a new one comes in, it just doesn't feel right in the end. Like something's off.
Right.
And whether it be a director or, you know, the 1,000 writers they've been through,
Yeah.
like, and that feels like it. Like that feels like they've been through 1,000 writers. Like,
Yep.
man, a lot of people had input on this, and they all had different ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Just pick the best parts.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to throw this out there, right? Because we had some of these issues with Indy 5, right? Talking,
yep,
you know, different people on well, Spielberg, right? He stepped away from it. I don't know. I just get the feeling that there's something going on where people are like, yeah, okay, I don't know. I'm going to go do something else. You know?
yeah. When you hear Steven Spielberg stepped away from a project, you're like, what?
Exactly. Especially one like Andy, you know, he'll still be he'll be an executive producer on there or something, but not direct it. I don't know. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, strange times.
Yes.
Strange times.
Yes.
And it sucks that, like, if this is absolutely the case here, it sucks that these times make us feel this way
Yeah.
and make us cynical, right?
Right.
I mean, I for one do believe that this is the way it's going down. I'd make that clear.
Okay.
I feel like it's the newborn thing, right?
Okay.
Got a
yeah.
child on the way, and things have been delayed, and it's overlapping schedules. He was obviously planning that, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I get to be a dad. So I
Yeah.
do buy that.
You still get to be a dad.
You know what I mean?
I do. But you know,
I get to focus on being a dad is the
Sure.
point I'm making. Like, so I get to take a little bit of time in between the next project, you know? So plan this project, take a break, get to focus on the early days, and then move to the next project.
Yeah.
Be there for the family, right?
Sure.
So I buy it.
Well, I guess, you know, for no better way of putting it, I will reserve judgment until we see more information.
We'll wait until 6 months from now and see if there's something else.
Exactly.
I mean, I understand. Like I said, I understand.
Oh, you mean like when the next director that gets hired walks?
Like I said, I understand the cynical look at it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I do. I really do, because this is all too familiar.
Yes, we have seen it a lot.
But I like to believe this is true. Little faith, right?
Yeah, sure. Hey.
Little faith that like real reasons actually do happen.
Yeah. It could be. We'll
Not
see.
just that the committee wasn't like approving of something.
Right.
The committee that hasn't exactly been nailing it.
Right. That's the one. You got it.
So yeah. Little faith.
Yeah.
Little faith.
Yeah.
I like to think we turned the corner.
We can only hope.
All right. Back to Star Wars. So a lot of talk has been popping up lately about Kevin Feige's, involvement in Star Wars, right?
Right. Yes.
It's gaining buzz because when it was announced, it was like, wow, scatterbrain for a second. Everybody was searching for the Kevin Feige of Star Wars, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then it was like, oh, Kevin Feige's going to do some Star Wars.
Right.
So now a writer is being reported for the Kevin Feige Star Wars project.
Yes.
And the writer is Michael Waldron. Gotta say,
Yeah.
don't know much about Michael Waldron.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not
And
familiar either.
first thing I always do when I see these writers pop up is I go, oh, let's see what they wrote.
Right.
And he wrote a lot of stuff that's yet to come out.
Yeah. It's a lot of in-house stuff though. So stuff
An episode of Rick and Morty.
but a lot of stuff that they are intimately familiar with. As far as when I say they, I mean Disney, Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the decisions made here based on some behind the scenes stuff that they've been working on.
Right.
With Loki, and it's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
So I don't know what the hell that is. But
Well, I would say clearly Kevin Feige has liked what he's seen from this guy, and clearly Kevin Feige has a pretty good nose for what's going to work.
oh, that's a sequel to Doctor Strange.
Aha.
I've been looking at DC stuff lately, and everything that comes out from DC is animated. So I was like, well, what is this Multiverse of Madness?
Right.
Seemed like an animated film by title.
Gotcha.
Multiverse of Madness. Wonder where they got the idea for the multiverse.
But hey, again, clearly they see something in this guy in the work that he's done for them already.
Yep.
So, hopefully it'll be good stuff. I mean, I'm sure he's a fan. So,
Yeah, I mean, the first thing we'll get to see that kind of falls in along the lines would be the Loki episode.
Right.
Or that he wrote. So the episode for the Loki series is coming up. So
Yeah.
that's coming out this year, right?
I'm not exactly sure of the date.
Well, let's say allegedly coming out this year.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, 2021 Loki.
Cool.
They say a lot of things though.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, for sure.
Always give them the benefit of the doubt until they give us a reason not to.
That's right. Yes. Then we attack.
I mean, I don't think we have to attack.
No, you're right. You're right.
But we can definitely say, yeah, don't do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like J.J. Abrams again. Come on.
Don't worry. I don't think we're at risk of that happening again.
About time. I was mad the first time.
I know you were. I had to talk you off the ledge a couple times with that one.
Like, ooh. Episode 7, the lens flare.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Have something to add to the conversation? Or you just want to let us know how we're doing? Email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. That's the best place to get in on the action. But if social media is a little more to your liking, @TheWarsAndMore on Twitter is always a good place to interact with us. And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/TheWarsAndMore. And of course, your portal to this and everything else, The Wars and More, is thewarsandmore.com.
All right, so now we roll back to my cryptic little intro.
Ah, yes. We've all been chomping at the bit to find out what this is.
So, we all remember when Disney acquired Lucasfilm and shortly thereafter dissolved LucasArts.
Ah, yes. Yes, one of the great mysteries as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, it was really like kind of mind-boggling. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And they said, oh, it's going to be a partnership now. We're going to use other studios.
Oh, yeah. Yay.
Things like that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, now they have announced Lucasfilm Games.
What?
Yes, Lucasfilm Games is the new umbrella for Star Wars and other Lucasfilm properties in video games.
Huh. So what does this mean for the video games? Like, is it, wow. Lucasfilm Games?
Lucasfilm Games.
Wow.
Which is a throwback. Because before LucasArts, there was Lucasfilm Games.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
So back before LucasArts, which started in LucasArts was 1990?
90. Okay.
1990.
Huh.
Which this is it's funny because you go to the Wikipedia and like no one would believe you if you said this, but it was LucasArts Entertainment Company, 1990 to 2021.
Okay.
Everybody thought LucasArts was dead, so.
Oh, really?
But
to
yeah,
2021.
at the time, I mean, yeah, they dissolved LucasArts, but they kept LucasArts alive in name only.
Okay. I see.
You know, just to be the like kind of organizer of what they were doing.
Okay. Yeah.
Licensing wise, blah 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 blah, business crap.
Right. Yes. Business crap. I like it.
But before 1990, starting in 1982, it was Lucasfilm Games.
Interesting. Okay.
So all the early projects prior to 1990 in gaming, things like that, was Lucasfilm Games. So this is a throwback. This is Disney channeling the old.
So, wow. So we're talking way back, like the old vector graphics style games and all that.
Correct.
Okay. Maybe the NES games.
Oh yeah, I mean probably.
Maybe
prior to 1990. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Wow, that's crazy. I'm so used to LucasArts, or yeah, that Lucasfilm Games doesn't even register with me anymore. Wow, crazy.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it does beg the question: why not? Why was LucasArts abandoned if they're just going to bring it back? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Why'd they do that?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to dissolve the actual studio portion of it.
Okay.
You know, they didn't want hands-on. They wanted to reorganize into the new Galactic Empire.
Yeah. Yes. The first Galactic Empire. Yes.
So, yes, they wanted to reorganize, right? They maybe wanted a hands-off approach and wanted to let other studios make these games, you know, like EA.
Right.
And I think at first when they launched it, you know, New Era, they were happy with EA being the exclusive. EA was the only company doing any of this.
Right.
You know, the only variation of that was EA subsidiaries, right? Like they had Visceral Games working on an open world project.
Oh, yeah.
That never came to fruition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that didn't work out so well, did it?
No. It just kind of went the way of 1313,
Right.
just gone. So they're like, oh, wait. Let's reorganize again. Second Galactic Empire.
Yes. I like it.
We'll
call this one the final order. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they went first to final. Like,
I know.
What happened with 2 and 3, bro?
Right. Nothing in between.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So, what is it that they are going to actually be doing? They actually going to be like coding games here, LucasFilm Games?
No, it seems like they're going to be doing the same thing they've been doing all along.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, it sounds like there's still going to be just, licensing. Maybe they're going to have a creative team involved. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of information out about what Lucasfilm Games is going to be.
Okay.
Other than some projects that have been announced. And the projects that have been announced make this seem like it makes sense.
Okay. So
we know EA has been doing, Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefront.
Right.
But they announced upcoming projects with Ubisoft.
Ooh.
And Bethesda.
Interesting. Okay.
So maybe trying to, we're going to do other stuff. We're going to do stuff with other studios, but we need a constant name in front of it, right?
Makes sense.
Kind of like Microsoft does, right? You got Microsoft Studios, but someone else does the work.
Right. Yes. Okay, so this is not going to be exclusively an EA thing anymore.
No.
Oh.
They announced Ubisoft is going to be working on an open world Star Wars project. This seems like kind of a dig.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, we're not going to go to EA with that one again.
Exactly. Yeah. We understand you guys have put a lot of work into that other thing, but no.
Like, all right, EA, we've already given you the stuff that you can just keep rebranding and re-releasing like you do,
Yes.
Little updates.
Oh, wow.
But we're going to leave the story stuff to people who know how to write a story. I'm sorry. I don't like the way EA does their stuff. It's well known.
Yeah.
Well known.
Yeah.
They can make a sports game because they can just put a new skin on it every year, but they just...
Yes.
I mean, Jedi Fallen Order has been a lone exception to the rule.
How so? What do you mean?
It was actually good.
Oh. Oh, okay. Wow. Nothing harsh there. Okay.
I didn't say it wasn't going to be harsh. I mean, it's just not, when it comes to Star Wars gaming, I mean, I don't expect the groundbreaking games, right? It doesn't have to be that, but it has to be Star Wars, and it has to carry some weight in Star Wars, right? Like,
yeah. Hey,
we look at the games of Star Wars past, you're looking at, The Force Unleashed, that series, fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knights of the Old Republic, fantastic.
Right.
So, Republic Commando, great.
Yes.
So, this is a move that I welcome because we need to do some more of that. Like, EA's done an okay job. Battlefront and Battlefront 2 were, they had their rocky moments, but they leveled out.
Right.
But they weren't groundbreaking like those other titles that I mentioned.
Well, I don't know, man. hold on. I got a headline here real quick. It says, get Star Wars Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition for free.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. You were just talking about that a minute ago, weren't you?
Yeah, it's so great. Giving it away.
Sorry. I saw that. And I just had to. Anyway.
Which Battlefront 2 ended up becoming a fantastic game.
Absolutely. No, I played that. Yeah, it was good.
But it was a real rocky start, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. We were talking about that with all the, what'd you call them? I forget. The pay-to-play thing or whatever. You had a name for it.
Pay to win.
Pay to win. There you go.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny because, like, at first I was like, oh, well, they're just doing some stuff that, like, okay, yeah, it makes the game a little easier, you know, things like that. And then it's like later on, I'm like, oh yeah, it's pay to win.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you could, like, spend some money and go into God mode.
Right.
So that's not good. That's not good for games.
No.
You know, what a lot of people consider pay to win in, you know, free game, and that's where I emphasize free games.
Right.
There's a lot of free games on the market that offer premium content, and people always, you know, lambast that as pay to win.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that way. It's, you know, okay, they need a revenue stream because it's a free game.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you value something, right? If you play a game that you got for free and you value it and decide to spend some money on it to get some cool looking stuff in the game, that's not pay to win. That's just, you know,
you're choosing,
showing your appreciation with your dollars.
Yes, and you get to choose the amount of value you place on that game, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Makes sense.
You know, I like that, right? Like if you've, I like the idea. Like bands have done this in the past, right? Like
sure.
9 Inch Nails did it. You know, they put stuff out there. Hey, here's the music.
Yeah.
If you like it, here's all this crap you can buy.
Yep.
You know,
or
show value for value, right?
Right.
Like,
absolutely. Or here's a page that you can, like, you know, send whatever you think it's worth. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If it was worth $1 to you, send $1. If it was worth $10, send $10.
Right.
Like, I have no problem with that. But when I spend $60 on a game and it's like, oh, but if you spend another $60, you can be better at it than other people.
Yeah, that's
yeah, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. That's a little shady. For sure.
Yeah. That's not value for value. That's gouging.
Yeah, exactly. And
now, if they gave me Battlefront for free and then said, hey, you know, we'll give you a little bit of an edge if you send us some money. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I like the game so far, so hey, why not get a little bit of an edge?
Yep. Now, see, that kind of stuff, you know, kind of doesn't work on me. Because we've talked about this before, but I am the type of, you know, I won't say gamer, but guy who plays video games. I'll wait. I'll wait 6 months to buy a game. Let it go on
there's
sale.
There's going to be a markdown. I know it.
Exactly. But, you know, that's just how it works with me. I you know.
But at the same time, I mean, the value to you is not to play it on day one, right?
Right.
The value to you is, you know,
the stories usually. I mean, especially for Star Wars games, you know,
right? I mean, you just wait for it to come into your price range, and then you get it.
Exactly. And I don't do all the online gaming. I pretty much play through campaigns, and that's it for me. So
right, which in all honesty, that, you know, the game is packaged with all of the stuff.
Right.
From day one.
Yep.
So you're just waiting until it comes into price range for what you're going to do.
Exactly. That's how much.
Like, I'm not going to play all the other stuff. So why would I pay for all the other stuff when I can just wait till I'm paying for I see a price range that's good enough for what I'm going to do.
Right. Just that portion. Yeah.
That's value for value.
That's absolutely right. Yep.
You know, you're putting forth a value that you seem worthy of what you're going to get.
Yep.
Makes sense. So I guess The Wars and More, also a financial podcast.
Yeah. None of this is financial advice. You got to put in a disclaimer.
You don't want to follow my financial advice.
Right. Quickest way to
Day
go
one,
broke.
I'm like, sold.
Yeah.
I buy stuff in November knowing it's about to be half off in December for Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, don't follow me for financial advice.
Yeah.
You can wait 30 days and save money on whatever I'm going to tell you.
Oh, that's bad, Joe.
What?
Oh, hey, you know.
I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, I see a Star Wars game, I see a Halo game. Dude, it's pre-ordered.
Right. Yeah, this is a true statement. You've told me many times. Yeah. You come in, pre-ordered it.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I'll be playing it in about a year.
Yeah, and I wait anxiously for that year to go, hey, can we talk about it now?
I know. Oh, I'm so horrible about that, but hey.
I take my gaming seriously, and you know, I do like this move. One, it sends the message that they are involved.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, they've made this whole notion of everything Star Wars that's coming is canon, and I don't like the idea that EA is in charge of that.
Right. No, that makes sense because, I mean, yeah, you're giving it to some outside source. I know they got to like run all their stuff by certain people, whatever, story group, whatever, but still, you know, it seems
I
like
understand they were running LucasArts as a shadow faction, so they were kind of involved all along.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, they had the licensing agreements. So that's what LucasArts was doing.
Huh. Okay.
So LucasArts was there for licensing. That's it. But with licensing comes like, well, if you want the license, it's got to line up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So in order to get that licensing agreement, you're pitching it before it happens.
Yeah.
So they had a hand in it all along, but it didn't feel that way. At least with this, it'll feel that way.
Yeah.
So we can feel confident going forward that, look, Lucasfilm is involved in video games. And we don't have to fear another Legends reset because someone went AWOL.
Right. Yeah, it does seem like there's going to be more of a central command, I guess you could call it, right?
Yes.
And with that, I guess you could say, I don't know, some better sense of control over quality and story and things like that.
Yes, and we know now people will be fired.
Yeah?
That's what they do. Right?
It's true. Yes.
For creative differences.
Yeah. Creative differences. I've chosen to spend some time with my family.
So with all that, there was also another interesting announcement. I mentioned Bethesda. So
yeah.
We talked about Ubisoft. They're doing the open world project.
Right.
You know, we talked about how Visceral was working on an open world project and it fell flat. And now Ubisoft is involved, and we'll probably see this one. But Bethesda got a project, not Star Wars. This is interesting, and I'm kind of curious on where this is going to go. But Bethesda is working on an Indiana Jones game.
Ooh, okay.
So Bethesda, that's the studio behind, stuff like Elder Scrolls, Fallout.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Indiana Jones, I would assume this is probably going to be semi-open world, if not open world as well. And open world in Indiana Jones universe, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it seems like it could be interesting, yes.
Because exploring is kind of the whole idea.
Right. You are an archaeologist by the,
Yeah, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So there's no timeline. There's no anything like that. Just Bethesda's working on an Indiana Jones game.
Huh.
So
Seems interesting. Yeah.
So in like 5 years, Doug will play it.
Yes. Yes. When all of you are done playing it, I will play it.
So just what we've talked about, like in Lucasfilm, I know I've kind of taken the spotlight away here talking about this. Like, how do you feel about all this, Doug? Like, as a casual gamer, especially focused on Star Wars and things like that, how do you feel about these decisions?
So for me, when it comes to anything Star Wars, what is the most important thing? It's the story. Okay.
Right.
So gameplay, all that stuff, it's when it comes to anything Star Wars, that's all secondary to me. So,
Okay.
If there's going to be, like I said, some sort of centralized control over what's happening with Star Wars or Lucasfilm Games, I kind of like that, because that means somebody's paying attention to a lot of that stuff that I care about.
Right.
Now, in order to keep the games good, playable, making sure everything's working however it works. I don't know, with between the engines and the whatever, the maps and all that stuff. Leave that to the people that know how to do that stuff, right? But then have some sort of central control for all the other stuff, and I kind of like the sound of it anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense. Story, yeah, you got Lucasfilm involved.
Yeah.
So the story is gonna be controlled one way or another, but you're leaving, like you said, the background, how a game works.
Yes.
In control of studios that can make games work.
Yes.
Instead of having Lucasfilm make, games with good story, some of the LucasArts games that did come out, good story, kind of clunky gameplay.
Right. Yeah.
In comparison to other stuff that was coming out. Star Wars has never been, well, I shouldn't say never been. The Force Unleashed is an exception, and Jedi Fallen Order was EA alone.
Right.
These are exceptions to that rule of like being like breakthrough games. Like,
right.
The gameplay is fantastic. The visuals are fantastic. All this stuff's fantastic. But as far as LucasArts goes, Force Unleashed was the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Everything else was decent. Decent gameplay, decent visuals, good story.
Yes.
With this move, they're allowing good story and a studio that can focus on bringing that, great visuals, great back end to a great story.
Absolutely.
The whole pie, right? Like,
yep.
I know we kind of glossed over this. Ubisoft working on this open world project. We've talked about games in the past with how you like to play games. You like those linear stories.
Yes.
You don't mind being walled off and going and being forced through a certain way.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't mind
How do
that
you
at all.
feel about an open world Star Wars story?
It could present its own challenges, I guess. It's the first thing that's occurring to me. As far as Star Wars fans are going to nitpick this thing to death. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I understand that portion of it, but I mean for you personally.
Okay, for me, this could be cool. Who wouldn't love to explore the Star Wars universe? I mean,
right.
You know, as far as that goes, that would be awesome. But as far as gameplay goes, I guess my thing would be, you know, it would have to have a story that progresses along somehow. Because, you know, I wouldn't want to, like, you know, okay, I guess I'm going to go explore over here now. You know, I'm going to go explore over here now. And for me, I think that could get a little tiring. Mainly because the amount of time I have to devote to video gaming is limited. So,
right. So you'd like it to be maybe open world, but walled off in a way that you are properly directed through the story.
Yeah.
Because I will say this, like, I have played several open world games that I feel don't direct you to what the next part of the story is.
Right.
And you can kind of get lost in the side quests and things like that. And that does get a little tedious.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't understand how this was part of the story. And then you find out, like, oh, wow, I didn't even have to do that.
Right. Exactly.
So you'd like to see something that's a little more, you know, obvious that, okay, these are story missions, these are everything else.
Yes.
And when you get done with the story missions in this zone, it should direct you to the next zone enough to where if you want to skip the other crap.
Yeah.
And just move on through the story, you can.
Yes. That would be perfect as far as I'm concerned.
Because, yeah, time is of the essence, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I want the Star Wars story, but I don't.
Right.
I don't want to waste time getting there.
For someone like me, that's kind of how it goes. I do want to consume the story. And once I do, I'm pretty much, you know, on the next thing. So,
okay.
Yeah. I'm not the type of person who's going to spend time meandering through a video game world. You know what I'm saying? So it's just me, you know.
Yeah. You don't want to be working on the story and like, oh, bandits have taken over the spaceport. Come help us.
Right. Unless that plays into the story somehow.
Well, in that case, most likely it won't. It'll just be something to kill some time.
Yeah.
Maybe get some cool loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this works with Star Wars in an open world setting. It could be great.
Yeah.
It could be like, all right, we need to get to the point.
Right. I think having this structure with the companies, I think you'll have a better grasp on that kind of thing as far as, you know what I'm saying? Like the LucasFilm Games would be kind of more on top of the stuff I'm talking about. I'm hoping, right?
Right.
Whereas you don't have a company in charge of all that stuff that's normally, you know, basically, how do you put this? You know it's good Star Wars, and you just, it is when it, how does it go? Star Wars has something and you just know it, right? You know it when you see it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Lucasfilm Games part comes into this. You know, you don't have a video game company trying to do Star Wars, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Right. Well, I understand, because like when it comes to Star Wars gaming, it's about the story you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why people invest in Star Wars gaming. It's why they put the time in. They want the story.
Right.
And this is why characters are being talked about today from Star Wars video games.
Yes.
You know, you don't hear people talking about some no-name character in, you know, I don't even know what game I would pick out, but you know, you don't hear them talking about some character that shows up in Skyrim, right?
Right.
And about how they should be in the next movie.
Exactly. Yes.
But if you flip over to Twitter, you see people talking about Keanu Reeves as Revan.
Right. Yes.
You know, they're talking about Starkiller. They're talking about like
Kyle Katarn, right?
Yeah.
Go way back.
You know, Dash Rendar.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so this is important in Star Wars, that the story advances. I am open to the idea of an open world game because, okay, cool. I like the idea of being able to, you know, go off a little bit and kind of see what's going on elsewhere.
Right.
But I do want to make sure that it is easy to get back on track and get through the story, because that's what's important.
Yes.
When I sit down for Star Wars, I want a story.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel about it, for sure.
So, I mean, even when I sat down to play Squadrons, it's like, oh, cool, there's a story that goes along with this. I like the multiplayer and all, and I like just, you know, engaging in, you know, mindless starship battles.
Right.
But there being a story along with it made it the whole package.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're in agreement there.
Yeah, cool. Totally.
So, promising, because, hey, cool, you can choose to go off when you want to, but yeah, it's Star Wars. It needs a little bit of a linear thing going on.
Yeah,
we're here for the story, man.
Right.
Here for the story. We're not here for the aesthetic.
Yeah, but make it look good.
Yeah, and that's the thing about open world. A lot of times is about the aesthetic. It's about it looks like where you're supposed to be.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that works for a minute. Like, oh man, cool. Look, this is Star Wars, but like, yeah, where's the damn story?
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, it's a tough ask. I hope Ubisoft is up to it.
Me too.
All right. Well, if you have anything to add to the conversation, you can always email us, show@thewordsofmore.com. We're also on social media. We're at The Words of More on Twitter, facebook.com/thewordsofmore. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewordsofmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We'll talk next week.